Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Flavorscape. And we're going to be talking today about some sustainable businesses and sustainable farms. So I'm going to be mentioning the top 3 sustainable farms that I found. Could be different in your list, who knows? And then the top 3 sustainable businesses that I found, some of the really cool ones that I think are worth mentioning. And I'll talk about them first, and then I'll list a bunch more, those included that I talked about in the links below. First up are some farming businesses. Firstly, the Stone Barns Center for Food and Agriculture. This business is going to be in New York and is on the Rockefeller estate, and Rockefeller being the oil tycoon. So their main focus is on regenerative agricultural techniques. And what does that mean? It can mean things like no-till farming, rotational grazing. So that could be moving the animals from one place to another to prevent overgrazing and help the pastures grow. And then this could also help for like soil erosion, things like that. They do cover cropping, and I had to look this one up, which is a technique mainly for soil erosion and fertility, managing weeds, pests, the soil health, and a bunch of other excellent stuff that promotes the better health of the environment. And lastly, they also, these people at the Stone Barns Center, they use regenerative agriculture, and that can include an application of compost and manure, so putting back into the environment. The Stone Barns Center also puts their big emphasis on the soil health and the biodiversity. So they plant a lot of different things, and then they also make sure that they're, like I said, giving back to the soil more than they're taking out, which is super important. So if you're in New York, I would also recommend taking a tour of the facility, which is pretty cool. I looked a little bit on their website. It looked pretty fun. It interests me. One of the big things that interests me the most, because I'm a man who thinks about the food, farm-to-table dining experiences. That would be pretty cool. Just going out and picking your own food and having the cooks make something for you. So they also have on their website, if you care to look, some really cool information. They have a bunch of information about their techniques and everything, education on their business, like how they're a nonprofit farm. They're also a research center. It was founded in 2004. It looks amazing. Like I said, I'll put a link below. The next farm that I want to talk about is Polyface Farms in Virginia, and they're known for their innovation and their approach to sustainable agriculture. And what they'll try to do, which is interesting to me, is they'll try to recreate the natural environment for the plant that they are growing. And they'll also use rotational grazing like the other farm, and then they'll also use composting to give back to the land. So all the extra stuff that they would normally throw in the trash, they throw back out into the land and make it into fertilizer. And what I love specifically about this farm is their wide range of products, like pastured poultry. They have grass-fed beef, forest-raised pork, which is pretty interesting to me. Maybe some truffle pigs out there, who knows? They also have a lot of really cool books. If you go onto their website, that has a bunch of really cool information on like the farming techniques that they use. They can help with your agricultural journey. You can book a private tour too on the facility, and they also have a bunch of other really cool merchandise that you can buy. Lastly, on the farms that I found that interested me was the White Oak Pastures in Bluffton, Georgia. This place looks pretty cool to me. And it's extra special because they're multi-generational, and they're multi-generational sustainable farming. So it's been going on for quite a while. The place is huge. It's 3,000 acres for holistic land management. Okay, and this can include rotational grazing, and then they also have an organic certification, which is pretty big, which means that they grow on soil that doesn't have prohibited substances like synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, applied for 3 years prior to the harvest. So for 3 years, they can't use any of that stuff to be organic certified. The white oak pastures is also practiced in regenerative methods for their animals, like rotational grazing and other methods for the animals themselves. And you can look on their website to look further in detail. They have a really cool website, really nice, really well organized. And then their artisan shops, I'm big for artisan shops, I know. It looks fantastic. I always love going into those, knowing that everything in there is natural or sustainable. You can also stay on the farm if you like. It looks pretty cozy on some of their different rooms. And you can attend workshops too, which I don't know if you've been to a workshop. I've always enjoyed a really cool workshop. One of them that they have at this farm is pasture-raised poultry and soil health. So you might learn a thing or two about making your birds taste better and also the soil even richer. Moving on to the businesses. First one I wanted to mention was in Portland, Oregon. It's called Schnitzer. They're a global leader in collecting and recycling steel. It's pretty impressive with what they've done. They have 95 recycling facilities and can deliver scrap metal to foundries all over the world, which is super important if you want to be a leader in the industry. Next, I found this pretty cool. They are powered by 100% net carbon-free sourced electricity, and the products are made with steel with 95% recycled content. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. They also recycle and reuse 88% of the total water withdrawal that they use. They also invest in metal recovery systems and fuel efficiency, and it's a really fantastic effort for sustainability. The next business I wanted to mention, pretty important for us all. It's for water technologies. It's Evoqua in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So they will help municipalities like the cities, towns, and industrial customers with the improvement and protection of their water. So they transform the water collected and also the wastewater. They are committed to their energy conservation and try to get the most bang out of their buck. And they have an ADI system, ADI, that can capture energy from the waste to power homes with renewable energy. So that's feeding back into that sustainability and giving back. They are a very simple business, like I said, water, but they also have a really big impact, and you can read more on them in the links below. The last business I'll mention is Autodesk in San Francisco, California. You might have heard of them. They focus on designing the whole world into sustainability and green solutions. What does that mean? Well, it can mean 100% renewable energy for its facilities. They neutralize their greenhouse gas emissions in its chain. And then they also try their best to lower the impact of travel through their virtual meetings and partner education. So they do a lot of, while they might not do a lot of traveling, they still find their ways around it. You know, even if they do traveling, they try to go through green traveling companies. And they'll partner with businesses that help the design process and their practices, as well as buildings for sustainability. So they try to make the world a better place by influencing other businesses and the buildings that they use. They have a bunch of really cool stories on their website. One particularly that I liked was the one with NASA and designing their habitats. On their website, you can go check it out. I would highly recommend it. It was pretty cool to read. A lot of really good information. So essentially they help all kinds of businesses go green inside and out and go sustainable. And I mean, that's it really for all that I'd like to mention about them. They have a bunch. They have a lot of information. And while I would love to talk more about, sustainable businesses and farms, I'll let you discover some of them for yourself. let you do some of the reading, and I'll quit talking. Leave you to learn some about the businesses and farms, and see if you know any of them. If you know any, I would recommend leaving some comments in the below. And I hope you enjoyed today's talk as much as I did reading about it. And I hope you have a good day, and I hope you stay sustainable.